Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 27th February 2022. Let's see which are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, these are the important articles. First of all, we will take overview of all these articles, try to understand the context of these articles and the relevance to our examination syllabus. Then we will discuss them in detail one by one. First of all, mains related articles on FAQ page number 12. So there is one article talking about the disintegration of USSR in 1990s. So it is relevant to our GS1 paper world history part. Okay, so we will discuss accordingly how the present Ukraine-Russia conflict finds its roots in that USSR disintegration during early 1990s. Then the next article on page number 12 FAQ page, SEBI fined the National Security Exchange NSE for laxity in governance. So recently it is in news because the kind of, let's say, poor governance we observed during the we can say former MD of NSE. So this is in news. CBI is further inquiring about this issue. So we will try to find out which are these market infrastructure institutions and why their regulation and appropriate governance is important of these MIIs. Okay, so GS3 paper, sorry, here GS3 paper should be there, economy part, mains examination. Specifically for prelims related developments, there is one article on page number 9 which talks about Asiatic cheetah and its reintroduction program in India, especially the designated site for such reintroduction program is Kunopalpur National Park in Madhya Pradesh. So we will try to know more about Kunopalpur National Park also, and we will revise the national parks of Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so this one environment section. There is one article on page number 7, magazine supplement of Sunday's newspaper, and it talks about the Pashupati seal. Okay, so it is important for our ancient history part as well as art and culture part. So the description of this Pashupati seal, also there can be question in GS1 paper mains examination, description of this Pashupati seal. Okay, then multinational air exercise Cobra Warrior cancelled. So last week itself we had discussed, this week itself previously we have discussed Cobra Warrior. Okay, so this is the largest, one of the largest multinational air exercise to be held in UK. Now it is cancelled. Okay, India was going to participate in this exercise for the first time, but now it is cancelled. Then Operation Ganga. So yes, the Ministry of External Affairs is coordinating with the Romania country and Poland country and we can say Ukraine to evacuate the Indian citizens from Ukraine. So that is we can say that named as Operation Ganga. So we will have follow up here. Let's go into details. Russia-Ukraine conflict, what history says. Okay, on that page number 12, very good article, very relevant to our examination, GS1 paper, world history part. Okay, so up till now there is no question on this USSR disintegration, Cold War, how it we can say ended. So we can expect the question from that part of our syllabus. Now the context here is that the Russian president had given one speech on 21st February addressing the Russian citizens, and he had criticized the leaders of 1917 Bolshevik revolution, Russian revolution in general we know about this, especially the leader of this revolution, Lenin. Okay, so he was criticized here, the kind of we can say that state-led development approach adopted. This has resulted into disintegration of USSR, the Soviet we can say that republics. So this is we can say the criticism given by Russian president, but we should understand the background here, how this USSR collapse happened, disintegration happened. Okay, and for that purpose you should also know that the developments, the important developments. So how did the Soviet disintegration unfold? Okay, so first of all, the context of this collapse. The reason you should know that during 1990s or late 80s, Russia was facing poor economic situation. We can say that falling international trade or foreign trade. We can say lower investment. We can say that fall of oil prices, and because of that we can say that less revenue was being generated. So overall Russian economy was facing problems at that time. The other aspect you should know here is that during that time we can say that in 1989 the important development is fall of Berlin Wall. So Eastern and Western Germany reunited, and that resulted into the influence of, we can say, the capitalist philosophy from Western Europe, which was limited to Western Europe. It started moving towards Eastern Europe. Okay, so this is, we can say, the context, and at present whatever the developments that are happening in Ukraine, they have linked to this collapse. Let's find out how these events unfolded. Okay, so yes, in 1979 basically USSR had sent its forces in Afghanistan so as to establish communist government in Afghanistan. But yes, it was fighting the Mujahideen who were supported by US and, we can say, Pakistan at that time, and USSR failed to establish communist government in Afghanistan in 1789, February 1789. It had to call back all its forces. Okay, already at home the economy was not working well, and because of that also it has faced the defeat here. Okay, so this is the start, we can say, and after that, not 1789, sorry, 1989. Okay, so yes, after that many, let's say, Soviet republics, especially Poland, Estonia, Lithuania, in these countries the protest started, anti-government protest, anti-communist, so we can say that protest started, and some of these countries started declaring themselves sovereign within this union. Okay, and they started demanding separation from the USSR. Okay, so let's find out which these countries were first to get separated from the USSR. You can see that around total 15, let's say, Soviet republics were there, including Russia. So first to get separated, you can see the numbering is mentioned, Lithuania. Okay, so first to get separated is Lithuania, and it got separated. Then the second to get separated, here you can see the location, Georgia, in 1991, the location. Then third one, here you can see Estonia, this country, and fourth one you can see Latvia. Okay, so Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania, one of the earliest, we can say, to get separated. And then fifth one, we can say that Ukraine. Okay, so you can see here the one of the biggest country in the Eastern Europe, so that got separated in 1991. Then Belarus, this country, then Moldova, seventh, this one, Azerbaijan, eighth one, this country. Okay, then Kyrgyzstan, ninth one, this country. Uzbekistan 10, then 11th one Tajikistan, then 12th one Armenia, this small country here, Armenia Azerbaijan conflict we generally hear in the news. Then Turkmenistan 13th one, and last one to get separated is Kazakhstan, one of the largest in CIS. Okay, so this is how they got separated. These 14 we can say republics got separated from the erstwhile USSR in this manner in those 2 years only. Okay, now coming back here, further developments, you should know that there was, Mikhail Gorbachev, he was the president at that time. So he had summit with the leaders of Ukraine, Belarus, and then they declared that there is no USSR anymore, and they form CIS, Commonwealth of Independent States. They form Commonwealth of Independent States. Now, which 9 countries are the members of the CIS? This is important for prelims examination. Commonwealth of Independent States are the erstwhile 9 USSR Soviet republics, we can say. Russia is one of them. Then we can say Armenia and Azerbaijan. Armenia and Azerbaijan, these two are there. Then among the we can say Central Asian republics, out of 5, 4 are the members. Okay, except Turkmenistan. So this is not the member. So these 4 are the members. 5, 6, 7. Then Belarus is 8, and Moldova is 9. Okay, Moldova is 9. So these are the 9 members of at present CIS. Earlier, Ukraine was also the founding member of this CIS. But later on, we will talk about the developments which resulted into exit of Ukraine from CIS. Okay, yes. Now this, let's see the next part. What are Russia's equations with former Soviet states? So of course it is having good relations with this all CIS members. 9 CIS members just now we talked about. Along with that, it is also having this organization. So it is, we can say that, Collective Security Treaty Organization. This is led by Russia in that region, and it is having 6 members. Okay, which are these 6 members? Again, let me show on the map itself. Okay, so of course Russia is the member. So Russia, then Kazakhstan 2, then Azerbaijan. Okay, so Azerbaijan is also we can say the member 3. Then we have Kyrgyzstan, and yes, 4th one is Kyrgyzstan, 9th here the member. Okay, then we have, okay, Belarus is their member. So again I will repeat: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can say let me repeat it. Yes, first Russia, then second Belarus, third Azerbaijan. Okay, and 3 members here is, we can say, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and Tajikistan. Okay, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and Tajikistan. These 3 members. Total 6 members are there of CSTO. So it is kind of, Eurasian NATO. It is a kind of Eurasian NATO. So like NATO is led by US bloc, no? तो वैसे ही इन्होंने कोल्ड वॉर के टाइम पे CSTO बनाया था, right? Yes, so they are having good relations with, we can say, Russia. Now, why did Ukraine fall out of Russia? So yes, when it got separated in 1991, So it was largely neutral state. Initial times it was largely a neutral state, but later on what we observe is, it started in 2008. NATO offered membership to Ukraine and Georgia. अब गुस्सा आ गया रशिया को यहाँ पे कि उसको डर लगने लगा कि जॉर्जिया और यूक्रेन जो है ज्वाइन हो जाएंगे नाटो में, एंड दैट्स व्हाई इमीडिएटली इन 2008 रशिया सेंट इट्स फोर्सेस इन जॉर्जिया एंड व्हाटएवर द लेट्स से those opposing forces to the government in Georgia, okay, so separated we can say republics of Georgia. To protect them, Russia sent the forces in Georgia. Okay, along with that, what we have observed in 2014, Crimean Peninsula of Ukraine was annexed by Russia. Okay, so it is strategically located peninsula in Black Sea region, and it was annexed unilaterally by Russia. So later on in recent times it exited CIS, Ukraine exited CIS and wished to join NATO. So this again angered Russia. It felt insecure, and that's why at present whatever the conflict we are observing is because of all these developments. I believe that you have now understood all the how it finds its roots in this we can say USSR collapse. Okay, so there can be question like the present Ukraine-Russia conflict finds its roots in disintegration of USSR in 1990s. So substantiate. So what the developments, the examples you have to give in the answer and elaborate that. Okay, yes. Now role of MIIs. Market infrastructure institutions. Okay, so it is in news because of the poor governance we can say observed in NSE, and recently SEBI has fined NSE and the former we can say MD of NSE, and penalties, economic penalties have been we can say sanctioned. Now what are MIIs? So MIIs are basically we can say very important economic institutions of the country. Okay, now market infrastructure. We know that infrastructure constitutes the foundation and the fundamental requirements of any institute or organization, and market infrastructure is nothing but those we can say infrastructures which support the market, which acts as a foundation for that market. And this market infrastructure institutions basically are very important for our economy, especially for we can say the capital market. This is for capital market we can say. Let's find out. So why are they considered systematically important? So what is the function of these MIIs? The most important function of these MIIs is to allocate and reallocate the capital resources of the country. So whatever the securities trading is happening, or we can say security depositories are there, or clearing houses are there, they are called as MIIs. They are designated as MIIs by SEBI. Okay, like NSE is there, BSE is there, NSDL is there. So all these are we can say MIIs as recognized by SEBI, market regulator. Okay, so basically when there is allocation and reallocation of all these capital resources happens, this brings efficiency of resources, and because of efficient use of these resources, economic growth and development happens in the country. Okay, so this is very important aspect for Indian economy. And that's why any kind of failure in these organizations or institutions will have spillover effect all over the other sectors of economy, and that's why it is designated as systematically important. Like RBI designates certain banks like SBI, or we can say in private sector ICICI Bank. So they are systematically important or systemically important banks, ऐसे उनको designation दिया जाता है या institutions. Okay, so why are governance norms critical in the regulation of MIIs? Yes, governance norms are very important because any kind of misadministration or misgovernance result into huge loss for economy. Huge loss for economy. Okay, so for example, you can take the example last year in NSE. What happened is one day, so there was technical glitch, and around 4-5 hours the investors were not able to trade on NSE platform, and this has resulted into loss of thousands of rupees. We can say that the investors, and if we are talking about the overall economy, of course it has resulted into loss of lakhs and crores of rupees. And this is very important aspect, and therefore appropriate governance norms to be followed by these MIIs and ensured by regulator SEBI is very important. Then what are the specific institutions that qualify as MIIs? So yes, you can give the examples of stock exchanges like Bombay Stock Exchange, NSE is there, or National Commodity Stock Exchange is there. Okay, so this is there. Then depositories like National Securities Depositories Limited, NSDL. So such kind of security depositories, they are also MIIs. Or clearing houses. Clearing houses क्या करते हैं? So whatever the, let's say, selling and buying of these stocks or capital assets happens on the stock exchanges. So these clearing houses are clearing those bills and ensure that all parties to that transaction are honoring their commitments of these transactions. So clearing houses. All of these are, we can say, part of this MIIs. SEBI designate them as MIIs. Okay, so this is the information relevant to our economy section, both for prelims as well as mains examination. Now wait for cheetah to get longer. Now we know that in India Asiatic cheetah is extinct in the wild, and that's why we want to reintroduce this Asiatic cheetah in the appropriate habitat. And the proposed site by the government for introduction of cheetah was Kuno Palpur National Park in Madhya Pradesh. Now recently our expert team of wildlife officials from Madhya Pradesh and Indian Forest Department, they visited Namibia for this, we can say that project, and they say that we have the satisfied experience, but the formal MOU regarding transfer is yet to be signed. Okay, so there will be delay in the reintroduction project. You should remember that this Kuno National Park was also supposed to be the site of Asiatic lion that is now confined to Gir National Park in Gujarat. Now see what kind of question was asked that year in 2017 UPSC prelims examination. Recently there was proposal to translocate some of the lions from their natural habitat in Gujarat to which one of the following site? Okay, so it was current affairs based question, but it is related to environment section like this. Okay, so Corbett National Park, Kuno Palpur Wildlife Sanctuary, Madhumalai, we can say Wildlife Sanctuary, and Sariska National Park. So of course Corbett is not the solution, Madhumalai is not the solution because it is not having the habitat for we can say yes, Asiatic lions, they require temperate grassland type of forest, and such kind of forest can be there in Kuno Palpur or Sariska National Park. So the confusion for students at that time was between these. Okay, so yes, you should know that this was in news. Kuno Palpur Wildlife Sanctuary, it became national park in 2018, next year. So that's why the name wildlife sanctuary mentioned in the question. And this was the correct answer. Okay, Kuno Palpur. Let's find out the more information about this national park. Yes, it is located in Shiopur and Morena districts in the northern part of MP. Okay, and it is part of Kathiar Gir dry deciduous forest ecoregion. This is what we are talking, the natural habitat of we can say Asiatic lions. It got status of we can say national park in 2018. It was established as wildlife sanctuary in 1981. In 1990s, it was selected as possible site to implement Asiatic lion reintroduction project. And recently in 2009, Kuno Wildlife Sanctuary was proposed as possible site for cheetah reintroduction in India. Okay? Let's revise protected areas of Madhya Pradesh. There are total 11 national parks. There are total 11 national parks in Madhya Pradesh, highest number of national park in any state of India. Okay, there are 9 national parks located in Union Territory of Andaman and Nicobar. Remember. Okay, let's find out the locations. First, Bandhavgarh National Park. So this is the location, Bandhavgarh National Park. Second is Fossils National Park and Dinosaur Fossils National Park. Here itself located. Okay, both are two different national parks. Fossils National Park and Dinosaur Fossils National Park in the nearby region itself. Okay, so separate but smallest, one of the smallest in area wise we can say. Okay, then the next one, fourth one is we can say Kanha National Park located here on this side. Then Madhav National Park on the northern side here. Then Panna National Park located here. Panna National Park, then Pench National Park, Priyadarshini National Park or Pench National Park, location here. Sanjay National Park, location here in this part. Then Satpura National Park, you can see the 8 number. Yes, so here you can see that 8 number Satpura National Park is located in that region. Then One Vihar National Park in Bhopal, this location, One Vihar National Park. Then okay, the last one is a recent one, this is what we were talking, Kuno Palpur National Park. Earlier it was Wildlife Sanctuary, Kuno. Yes, Palpur Kuno Wildlife Sanctuary, 22nd. See the location here. Okay, this is Morena district, right? So there it is located, Kuno Palpur. Fine. Okay. Next, Pashupati seal. So there is one article talking about this Pashupati seal and how the philosophy of religion and we can say that Hinduism, finding trace to the Hinduism, Vaishnavism specifically and Shaivism, sorry. So it can be traced back to the Harappan civilization. The article is very good from those having history optional, but about specific information of this seal, it is commonly recognized as Proto-Siva seal or Pashupati seal. It was excavated at Mohenjo-daro, at present it is in Pakistan, one of the important site of Indus Valley civilization. It is made out of steatite rock. Okay, steatite is we can say sedimentary type of rocks, and it is very small object, this seal. Okay, measuring mere 3.4 centimeter in height, 3.4 in length, 1.4 in width. One can currently find this artifact in Indus Valley Civilization Gallery in National Museum, New Delhi. Okay, now artistic significance ये भी important है, मेंस पर्सपेक्टिव से भी important है, right? This rare seal shows seated figure in yogic posture, probably Shiva or Pashupati. Okay, so you can see the photograph, yogic posture is there of that figure. It is usually thought that the figure has 3 faces, although the one in question that this seal is just having one face or one head, then the legs of the figure are bent twice, heel to heel, and his toes are turned downwards. Okay, तो आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे एक बार बेंड है और यहाँ पे एक बार बेंड है. Okay, heel to heel. Then his arms are outstretched and his hands are resting on the knees. Okay, outstretched है. Then from the wrist to shoulders the arms are covered with bangles. Okay, so wrist से लेके हम पूरे आर्म पे bangles दिखते हैं. He is wearing triangular necklace and his head is crowned with the pair of horns. You can see the triangular necklace and the pair of horns. Okay, so it is a tall headdress, we can say. On either side of God or this Pashupati figure, the animals are elephant. You can see here, this is elephant, tiger, rhinoceros, and no, this is rhinoceros and this is bull, and this is human. Okay, so these are the animals on that Pashupati seal. On bottom side, antelopes are also there. Okay, on the bottom side, antelopes are also there. Okay, now the spiritual significance is also there. The horn headdress implies beastly characteristics. Okay, beastly characteristics, Shiva is associated with as a lord of beast, we can say, animals surrounding the male figure. So that is also linked to the Shaivism. Then all male figure with the horns on Harappan seals have been believed to suggest and associated with Shiva's imagery, since Shiva is strongly associated with bull. Thus Pashupati seal is called as Proto-Shiva. The shape created by hands of the figure, mudra, and yogic posture, asana, is linked to meditation and yogic practices. Therefore, it has been surmised that some beliefs and practices of Harappa civilization were of Indic religion. Okay, having some spiritual significance, we can say. The arrangement of four animals suggests mandala, a cosmological diagram known in Shaivism and other Indic religions. Okay, a pair of antelope which got broken off indicates Buddhist iconography, and the seat resembles a throne used in Indic religions to highlight rank of the person who is sitting upon it. Okay, so this is the spiritual significance. Next, multination air exercise cancelled. The name of the exercise was Cobra Warrior. It was to be held in UK, but this has been cancelled against the backdrop of Ukraine crisis. Indian Air Force was going to join this for the first time. Okay, and Indian LCA light aircraft, we can say combat aircrafts, Tejas was going to participate for the first time in the air exercise. At the same time, you should know this year UK was to host India for bilateral air exercise Indradhanush, but instead of which the UK asked, or we can say that the UK Air Force asked IAF to join the multinational exercise Cobra Warrior. Okay. Next, first flight arrives with 219 Indians. So Operation Ganga, here evacuation of Indian citizens from Ukraine is happening through Romania and other countries like Hungary and Poland. Okay, so yes, Indian embassy in Ukraine is coordinating with the Indian citizens there, and we can say the governments of Hungary and Romania, they are cooperating Indian government. This is good news, and we should know that this is relevant to our prelims examination. Evacuation in the crisis times, different operation names are given, right? Yes, this MCQ, what should be answer to this? Okay, so we have to find the incorrect statements about Pashupati seal of Indus Valley civilization. It was excavated at Harappa. This is incorrect. Mohenjo-daro. Okay, so it was excavated Mohenjo-daro. So this is incorrect. It is made of steatite rock. This is correct. The animals in the seal include elephant, tiger, rhinoceros and buffalo. Yes, this is also true. So yes, 2 and 3 are correct statement. Incorrect statement is 1 only. So answer should be A here. We have to find the incorrect statements, right? So that's why answer should be A. Fine. Okay. So these are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Fine. Thank you.